And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be having a look at something that should give you a little bit of hope for the future, because I know it has for me. Now, as you all know, I really don't like Boris at the minute for his weak leadership, or the Tories to be honest, or Labour for their weak opposition. Well, it seems that I'm not the only one that's getting a bit miffed and peed off with weak leaders, or as I like to call them, blancmange backboned leaders. Well, I found this article in the Mail Online. It seems that the young are starting to see that we've got weak leaders and we need someone strong. And who do you think they're going to turn to? Are you ready for this? There was actually a survey done with voters aged between 18 to 24 on who they would prefer to be leading us through the Lurgy crisis and everything else. Guess who came out on top? Now, the article is titled, it's going to give it away, but the article's titled, Britain Needs Margaret Thatcher. Yep, you heard that right. Voters aged 18 to 24 chose the Iron Lady as the best former Prime Minister to be in charge of tackling Lurgy and Brexit. You hear that? 18 to 24-year-olds gives you a bit of a hope for the future, doesn't it? Now, don't get me wrong, Thatcher wasn't perfect. We all know Thatcher wasn't perfect. But she was strong, wasn't she? She didn't have any messing about. Let's see why Thatcher's seen as a strong lady, shall we?
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith. And where there is despair, may we bring hope. To those waiting with bated breath for that favourite media catchphrase, the U-turn, I have only one thing to say. U-turn if you want to. The ladies not for turning.
Be pleased to inform Her Majesty that the White Ensign flies alongside the Union Jack in South Georgia. God save the Queen.
What happens next?
Thank you very much.
What's your reaction?
Rejoice at that news and congratulate our forces and the Marines.
Of course, the chairman or the president of the commission, Mr. Delors, said at press conference the other day that he wanted the European Parliament to be the democratic body of the community, he wanted the Commission to be the executive, and he wanted the Council of Ministers to be the Senate. No, no, no. All levels of income are better off than they were in 1979. But what the honourable member is saying is that he would rather the poor were poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That way you will never create the wealth for better social services as we have. And what a policy! Yes, he would rather have the poor poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That is the Liberal policy. And we're very happy that we leave the United Kingdom in a very, very much better state than when we came here 11.5 years ago.
Consensus has reared its head. You must have a consensus. It's a word, again, you used not to use when I first came in politics. We had convictions. And we tried to persuade people that our convictions were the right ones. And it's no earthly good having convictions unless you have the will to translate those convictions into action. But politics was more, if you had convictions, than a matter of multiple maneuverings to get through the problems of the day. I often think when you're going for consensus, so often it means that those who believe, as I believe, tend to give in to the left wing and you steadily move further and further left.
Oh, don't mess with Thatcher. She'd have you. My best of the whole lot was, this is where the media uses its catchphrase, U-turn. U-turn if you want, but this lady's not for turning. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you can understand why that sort of strength is required now. Now, apparently, this also applies in Scotland as well, due to a resolute approach. On top of that, nostalgia is shared by Northerners now. You wouldn't have expected that, would you? Due to us bearing the brunt of mass unemployment, obviously. At the start, now they've done a survey online, 2,000 people. Let's go through the article, shall we? They weren't born until years after she had lost power, but the young adults dubbed Generation Z wish Margaret Thatcher was still around to sort out Lurgy and Brexit. Even in Scotland, where she was was reviled by many during her term as Prime Minister between 1979 and 1990, voters yearn for her resolute approach. Thatcher nostalgia is also shared by Northerners who bore the brunt of mass unemployment in her early years. They are the findings of an online survey of 2,000 people by JL Partners, which asked voters which of Britain's 8 previous Prime Ministers dating back to 1976 they wish were here to tackle the crisis faced by the UK in 2020. A total of 32% favoured Thatcher. 32%. We ready for the rest? Tony Blair, 11%. Ooh, not too sure on that one. Surprisingly, she also came top among 18 to 24-year-olds, Generation Z. A total of 15% of this group chose the Iron Lady, who died in 2013, putting her in first place. A total of 35% of Northerners wish she could come to the rescue. Mr Blair follows on 10%, with Theresa May on a paltry 1%. Oh, Theresa. 1%. Ooh, that's not good at all, is it? You noticed how they didn't say Boris? I'd like to know what Boris was. Meanwhile, a total of 22% of Scots opted for Mrs Thatcher, compared to 6% of Scottish former Labour Prime Minister Gordon Brown. Oh, 6% Gordon. I bet he's well miffed about that as well. You know he is. James Johnson of JL Partners said, there is a frustration that our current politicians do not take the tough decisions, stand up for what's right and follow rather than lead. You can't deny that one really, can you though? For many voters, the last election, Boris Johnson provided hope of being a leader who would be a change from this. But they're disappointed. They're right, aren't they? We are disappointed. Now describing him as in focus groups as weak and confused rather than strong and decisive. I actually say blancmange backboned, but there you go. For all their faults and despite disagreements, politicians like Margaret Thatcher and even Tony Blair had a view of what they wanted to do and got it done. Thatcher more successful. Well, I'd say Blair more successfully. We're still living with what the Blair times, aren't we now? But Thatcher, I would say, is a lot stronger personality. I'd prefer Thatcher over Blair now, 100%. But I'd like to know your opinion on this, everyone. Let me know what you think. I think it's a good sign of the future if our young are starting to see that we need strength in leadership, not capitulation as it seems to be now.
Is it just they want her, though, to tackle COVID and then go away, or would they want her as an actual Prime Minister for the next 4 years?
Well, they're saying Brexit as well. So Brexit as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's Lurgit and Brexit. They want a strong leader. So it tells me that the young want a strong Brexit as well. Why would you need a strong leader to get Brexit if apparently Boris is getting us a deal anyway that's probably going to be crap?
It does give you a bit of hope, like you said.
That tells me that 18 to 24-year-olds, 33% of them or whatever it was, want a hard Brexit.
Does give you hope, but it's only a very small window, isn't it? I mean, 18 to 24.
Yeah, but that's the next generation.
Good point. Yeah, I didn't think like
18 to 24 are the voting age.
Yeah.
So there is hope, isn't there?
It's an uplifter.
Things are changing in the favour of sanity by the look of it.
Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah. And it seems that the schools haven't
turned them all.
If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share it out, everyone. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.